Hello, all my dear students. I am Professor CMA SV Shrimali. Today we are going to talk on the subject Corporate Accounting. Therein, chapter Profits Prior to Incorporation. The topic we are going to discuss is the basic concepts regarding profit prior to incorporation. Now, let us understand the concept first. What is this profits prior to incorporation? What happened in certain cases, a company may acquire another business or another company from date before its incorporation. Means certain company acquires another company from the date before its incorporation. Why it is happen? It is normally done from the beginning of the accounting year with a view to avoid preparation of final accounts up to the date of acquisition. So it is normally done with a view to avoid the preparation of final accounts up to the date of acquisition, because when you acquire the company, thereafter you have to prepare the final accounts. So incorporation is done after the date of closing of the financial or accounting year. But the business undertaking is actually acquired before the incorporation. So the third point says, in such cases the business undertaking is purchased earlier and registration of acquiring company takes place afterwards. Let us understand this with the example. For example, XYZ Limited is incorporated on 1st April 2020 to take over the running business of ABC Limited from 1st January 2020. So, here the company XYZ Limited is incorporated on 1st April, but it has taken over the ABC Limited on 1st January. Hence, the incorporation is done on 1st April, but acquisition of another company is done on 1st January. The profit earned or loss suffered during this pre-incorporation period, that is, now what should be the pre-incorporation period? It is from 1st January to the date of incorporation, that is on to the date of 31st March. Is called profit or loss prior to incorporation. Legally, this profit is not available for distribution as a dividend, because as the company cannot earn before the incorporation. As the company is not yet incorporated, it is not yet registered, so it is legally not valid to earn the profit before the incorporation and to distribute it as a dividend. However, profit earned after incorporation period is available for distribution of dividend. So profit earned after the 1st April 2020 will be known as regular profit or revenue profit and is available for distribution of dividend. But the profit earned before the incorporation, that is from 1st January to 31st March, will be called as capital profit and it is not divided as for distribution. Hence, profit earned before incorporation is called as capital profit and any loss incurred is called as capital loss and should be debited to goodwill account. And profit earned after incorporation is called as revenue profit and it's available for distribution as dividend because it is known as regular profit. From the calculation point of, the date of incorporation is considered as the basis for calculation of profit prior to incorporation. So when your company is incorporated, that date is important for calculation of whether it is a capital profit or whether it is a revenue profit. We will understand this in detail with the example. Now there are some steps for ascertainment of profits prior to incorporation. Now we have to find out what should be the profit earned by the company before the date of its incorporation. So how to find out? There are some steps. First, calculation of gross profit. A trading account for the full accounting period is prepared and gross profit is arrived at as per our regular method. We prepare our trading account and we calculate the gross profit. Secondly, allocation of gross profit in sales ratio. Gross profit should be allocated between the two periods in sales ratio. Two periods means the period of before incorporation, the period of after incorporation. So it is divided into two periods. Third, allocation of fixed expenses in time ratio. If there are any fixed expenses, they are also segregated in time ratio. So all fixed expenses such as telephone charges, bank charges, rent, taxes, printing and stationery, general expenses, thereafter office expenses, salaries, insurance, these all are fixed expenses, are allocated on a time basis as these expenses are related to the time factor. This is what about the gross profit and fixed expenses. Now allocation of variable expenses relating to sales in sales ratio. Like sales expenses which are related to sales such as commission to salesman, discount allowed to customers, bad dates, advertisement, thereafter traveling expenses of salesman, carriage outward, packing, charges, publicity charges, sales promotion charges should be allocated to sales ratio. So we have to calculate time ratio as well as sales ratio. Charging of certain expenses for specific period. There are certain expenses which occur only for certain specific circumstance, hence it is called as specific items or specific period. So the expenses incurred after post incorporation period like underwriting commission, company formation expenses, discount in issue of shares, debentures, managing director's remuneration, preliminary expenses, audit fees, debenture interest paid, director fees are calculated on a specific basis. Thereafter, allocation of expenses as per actual basis like interest on purchase consideration payable to vendors is allocated as per actual basis. Then accounting entry. Now this is the next step. For transferring profit which we have calculated prior to incorporation, the following entry is to be passed. Profit and loss account debit to profit to prior to incorporation account. The separate account is prepared for that purpose and we have to credit that profit to that account. If profit prior to incorporation is not utilized for writing off expenses of capital nature, then it appears in the balance sheet along with other capital profits. And in case of loss, it is either added to the goodwill or adjusted against capital reserve. This is what about the accounting treatment for profits prior to incorporation. When we solve our example, we will understand this in more detail. So in case of accounting treatment for profit prior to incorporation, we can summarize that firstly it can be credited to capital reserve account or it can be credited to goodwill account and utilized to write down the value of fixed assets acquired. You can utilize it for writing down the assets. And in case of loss prior to incorporation, it can be debited to goodwill account or debited to the capital reserve account arising from acquisition of business or debited to suspense account to be written off. This is what about the profit prior to incorporation or loss prior to incorporation. Now from the calculation point of view, basis of apportionment is very important. When you have to divide the profits into capital and revenue, you have to divide it in certain basis. What are these bases? There are three types of basis of apportionment. The first is time basis or time ratio. As I said, there are certain kind of expenses which are fixed in nature, which are related to the time. Hence, they are to be distributed or segregated according to time ratio or time basis. Then there are certain expenses related to sales, related to variable expenses are to be segregated according to turnover basis or sales ratio. And there are certain kind of expenses which needs combined or equitable basis. We can see the examples of different expenses which are to be segregated either on time basis, that is in time ratio, either on sales basis or sales ratio, or either on equitable basis. Let's understand this. So this is general classification of expenses and their basis of allocation. You can see here there is a chart wherein there are certain expenses which are to be segregated according to time ratio. Then there are certain expenses to be charged according to sales ratio. Then applicable to pre-incorporation period, that is actual period, and applicable to post-incorporation period, which is also actual. So under time ratio, you can see there are fixed kind of expenses like rent, rates, taxes, insurance, depreciation, salaries, repairs, printing, stationery, etc. In the sales ratio, we can see the expenses related with the sales like advertisement, publicity charges, discount allowed, commission on sales, carriage outward, bad debts, traveling expenses, brokerage on sales, selling expenses, like that. Then which are applicable to pre-incorporation period, which are in actual nature, like vendor salary and interest on partner's capital. If it is of pre-incorporation period, you have to treat it as a actual for pre-incorporation. You cannot divide it into different kind of ratio like time ratio or sales ratio. Then there are certain expenses which are applicable to post-incorporation period only, like preliminary expenses, which will be considered for incorporation purpose. So that expenses, interest on debentures, directors fees, formation expenses, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares and debentures, managing directors remuneration, development expenses, reorganization expenses, etc. There are more expenses. So again, in case of time ratio, interest is a fixed expense, bank charges, telephone charges, office expenses, general expenses, sundry expenses, other fixed expenses, thereafter some miscellaneous expenses, administration expenses, telegram charges, like that. Again for sales, there is the sales promotion expenses, distribution expenses, packing charges, delivery van running expenses, salaries to traveling salesman, free samples, catalog expenses, freight, tendering expenses. Then there are certain allowances given to debtors, sales tax, after sales service expenses, and again for post incorporation, reconstruction expenses, audit fees, therefore share transfer fees, provision for taxation, reserve for bad and doubtful debts, dividend on shares, etc. So while calculating, we have to consider which kind of expenses are that and which kind of allocation basis is to be considered for allocating these expenses. So I hope you have understood some basic of profit prior to incorporation, why it is called as profit prior to incorporation, how the profits are to be segregated between capital profit or revenue profit, how the expenses are also segregated into different ratios like time, sales, etc. In the next video, we will see some examples or problems on profits prior to incorporation. Thank you.